So after a hour or so scooter ride through the rain, through the jungles, myself and Keiran,
I wiped out.
Yeah, he had a little tumble, but you know, things are all good. We're at stop number 1, which we're about to check out Sekumpul waterfall. We decided to check out Canto Lampo first, but what ended up happening was that because of the rain, the mud made it a little too slippery, a little too dangerous to actually go down, and it was pretty sketchy. So hopefully this one is nice. Hopefully this one lives up to expectations. So let's check it out.
There's the waterfall!
We found it! So we're in the gorge of Sekumpul, but you got to take off your shoes, because if you don't take off your shoes, you're gonna get soaked. So hopefully do that and then get some wicked shots. And then hopefully this can crack the top 3 of today's list. But who knows? Maybe the rest of everything is super beautiful. So we'll be approaching the waterfall in just a few moments, but the initial impression is really high. The gorge is beautiful to walk through. It's incredible. If you're a little claustrophobic, it might be a little scary because you do have to crawl under at some parts, but nothing that's too bad that I don't think anyone can't handle. Hopefully this is going to be unreal. It's looking very promising as our first stop on today's waterfall tour. So I noticed that pretty much everybody that's coming to this waterfall is trying to get the same shot. They're all taking their photos over there closer to it. So I found this rock right behind me, which I can peek over and get shots facing that way, which I've noticed has been a really different cool angle that I can get the full waterfall in. So if you come to take photographs of locations, make sure that you're looking all around you to see the spots that maybe people are missing. That's how you get unique perspectives. But this has been really cool so far. Definitely enjoying this gorgeous view. Tricky thing that Keiran and I just noticed about this waterfall in particular is that it's not a very big area, so that when people do come, it takes maybe 10 for stuff to get crowded and everybody's trying to get the same shot, same photograph, so it really slows things down. But it's really beautiful. But that's just something to keep in mind if you're coming to this spot. Maybe earlier in the morning would have been better. For us it was raining, so that wasn't really an option, but there's maybe another dozen people in front of me. So yeah, like, it's nice, but definitely time of day is a big thing here. It's pretty close to noon and people just keep pouring into this place, so that'll definitely affect its rating. I'll explain the rating system of all these waterfalls in just a few moments. So that's one thing about in here that is a bit of a complaint, is that because it's tiny, because it's not the biggest area, it gets really crowded really fast. Regardless, it's still beautiful. So how the rating system for these waterfalls is going to work is each is going to start at 10, and anything that kind of brings it down or negative, we'll drop it, or anything that was really exceptional, we'll bring it back up. So because it was busy, because it was so crowded, probably going to drop it like 2 points. Because the waterfall wasn't that big, gonna drop it like another. So what's up? And then so I'm probably gonna have to call this a 7. But at the same time, I'm open that if you come here at a better time of day, it would be extra beautiful if it's not crowded and you get the light rays. So I'll bring it up half a point to 7.5. So this one, 7.5, good start. So up next we got Sekumpul waterfall, which is like 7 massive waterfalls in the same location. It's supposed to be one of the most beautiful parts of Bali, but that's further north. We got a big bike ride to get to there. So I'll probably see you in like an hour and a half by the time we arrive, because this is going to be pretty hectic, but should be a lot of fun. But yes, good start, 7.5 to begin with. Hopefully this one can even exceed that. So after a 2.5 hour grueling scooter ride all throughout Bali, we finally made it right to the north. So we'll show you around. So far, the coolest thing about northern Bali has been that it does not seem anything at all like the south. In fact, I'd go as far as to say, when you come up here, it feels like a completely different place. Like, you've got really large mountains and volcanoes everywhere, and it's a lot more low-key, a lot less tourism. In fact, like, you could even say that there's like next to no tourist infrastructure here, with the exception of a couple attractions. The south is pretty much just packed, so this is a nice change of pace. I didn't know what to expect of Sekumpul Falls the other day when I was planning on coming, because like I knew that there would be 7 like really nice waterfalls, but then you get here and these are honestly like 5 times the size of Nung Nung. It's ridiculous. Incredible. Like right now they're at a 10, so maybe there's something that drops them, but Sekumpul's a solid 10 out of 10. The cool thing about here though is that the majority of people that stay in the south don't venture up to the north. It is a pain in the ass to get to here. So if you're coming from Denpasar, Kuta, Canggu, Seminyak, or even further in Uluwatu, you're gonna be looking at a minimum of 3-hour scooter ride to get here, and that's really tough. And it was 2.5 from us from outside of Ubud. So most people just aren't willing to make the trek, or they're not willing to spend money on a guide to bring them here, or they can't find a guide because there's not too many. But that to me is what makes it also worth it, is because it is so much more beautiful than anything you will find. It's more pristine, it's well kept, it's untouched. This is the Bali that people come to see. It blows my mind that there is a place in Bali with 7 waterfalls in the same location, and one where right behind me is a triple waterfall, and barely anybody comes here. There's myself, Keiran, and one other dude. Absurd. Northern Bali, if it's not on your Bali bucket list, add it right now. It's a big mistake to not come here. There are 3 waterfalls right behind me. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. Just met some of the local dudes that came here, and this is seriously one of the coolest locations I've visited in my life, and we're not even halfway done exploring this. This is unbelievable. Yeah, we just finished swimming, full squad lined up, let's go. All day. So we got Keiran, we got everybody. Woo! Let's go! One of the best things you can possibly do when traveling is be surprised by the local people that come up to you to hang out, and that's exactly what just happened to us. So,
Whole group of them.
Keiran, how was it for you?
It was amazing, unbelievable. They're such nice people. They're all friendly. They want to just get to know you and have a great time.
It was fantastic, and we went swimming in the waterfall, which was great. Didn't bring the camera because I ain't gonna risk this biscuit. But let's go on to more waterfalls, the other side.
Fuck yeah.
This is ridiculous. I am stoked. Life is at an all-time high right now. Final verdict for the waterfalls at Sekumpul is 10 out of 10. The ones at Suket Sapung earlier, it was nice and it was a cool gorge. It was too busy. It wasn't like this. These ones are so much more interesting. There's more of them. They're much bigger. You can swim in them a lot easier. There's local people that are super cool. And I mean, Keiran, how do you feel about it?
I mean, I got to go rock jumping with a couple locals, so I mean, I can't complain.
Yeah.
This place is just out of this world.
It's a pure double. It's a pure dub. So
10-10.
Enough said.